Hey, Abby, have you not transferred your monthly payment to me yet? If you don't transfer it to me soon, there's gonna be problems.
I'm sorry, Gabrielle. I'm not feeling very well today. I wasn't able to go to the bank. Don't worry, I'll make sure I transfer it to you tomorrow.
I don't want to hear any excuses. You promised you'd pay me the same time every month, didn't you? You said you'd pay me. That's why I let you move out and live on your own. And in return, I take care of your father's house and your little brother. You remember our agreement, right?
Of course, I remember. And I remember how you took in my father and helped look after me and my little brother. And after my father died, you let me move out and agreed to keep looking after my little brother, as well as my father's house for me. Kyle and I are both very grateful for you.
Well, as long as you understand, the only thing you're good at is making money. So make sure you're never late with your payment ever again. I don't care if you're feeling bad. Next time, crawl to the bank if you have to.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, I think this month you're gonna have to pay me an extra $1,000.
Huh? An extra $1,000?
That's what you get for making me wait an extra day. There's some new clothes that Fiona wants. And there's a new bag that I want.
But if I pay you an extra $1,000, my rent is...
What's this? Do you have a problem with my request? Are you gonna defy me and not pay it? Do you want something to happen to little Kyle?
I'm sorry. I'll pay it. I'll pay you, so please, don't do anything to Kyle.
You and your brother both. You're not very good at understanding circumstances, are you? You've got no parents. So without me, who's gonna look after you and your brother? To tell you the truth, the day your father died, so did my obligation to look after you two. But because I'm such a nice person, I let you stay in our house. You need to start showing your appreciation and pay me back for everything I've done for you.
Yes, I understand, and thank you for everything you do.
What a poor excuse for children you two are. My little Fiona is such a good little girl compared to you and your brother. She just got accepted to that elite private school, the one with a combined junior high and high school. It doesn't surprise me, really. She is my daughter after all. She's nothing like whatever you two were spawned from.
Wait, hold on a second. That elite private school you're talking about, it's also known to be extremely expensive. How are you going to pay the tuition? It's junior high and high school combined. That means she'll be going for 6 years. 1 year's tuition alone is extremely high.
I found a bank book in Kyle's room. When I looked at it, there was a huge amount of money in the account. A child doesn't need that much money. I'm paying for Fiona's tuition with that money.
Hold on. That's the bank book for the bank account my dad made for Kyle? That's the college fund my dad set up for him. You can't use that. It's Kyle's tuition when he's old enough. And don't go rummaging around Kyle's room. He's only 11 years old.
Who do you think you're talking to? I can go anywhere I want in my house anytime I want. On top of that, anything in my house is mine. You have no right to complain about it.
I can't believe this. If you're going to use Kyle's college fund on Fiona, Kyle's education is...
Let's face it, I really don't think that boy would be going to college anyway. If you've got a problem with it, you'd better start making more money than you are right now. If your job isn't paying enough, then get another job at night or start working the streets at night. Do you want me to introduce you to someone in the escort business? I know someone who specializes in that type of work. I can get you in. It might be a little rough sometimes, but it can make you lots of money.
No, thanks. I'll get you the money for Fiona's tuition somehow. Just put Kyle's money back in his account.
Fine. Either way, just remember, if you're late on even one payment, I'm going to use the money from Kyle's savings account. You better work hard to get enough money for Fiona's private school tuition.
Okay.
For now, make sure you pay me that extra $1,000 for being late with the regular payment. And you're going to be paying for Fiona's textbooks and her uniforms too. Got it?
I understand. I'll make the transfers. Goodbye.
Hey, Abby! The house is completely empty. Did you have something to do with this? And there was some strange notice posted on the door. What are you up to?
Welcome back, Gabrielle. I heard you and Fiona went on a little vacation, is that right? You were gone for about a week, right? I heard you took Fiona to Disneyland. It sounds like fun.
I'm not talking about that now. Tell me about the house. The paper on the door said the house was sold. What's going on here? And what did you do with all our things? Do you have any idea what I'm going to do to you two?
Shut up. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
What did you say to me? How dare you talk to your parents like that?
Just shut up and I'll tell you what's going on. As for the house, you don't live there anymore because I sold it.
You sold it! You sold it without my permission? How could you even think of doing that without my permission?
I don't need your permission for anything. My dad left that house to me in his will.
Huh? He left it to you.
The only thing Dad left to you was his savings. I got that house in his inheritance, and I was the one paying the property tax on it. So, if I want to sell it or tear it down, it's entirely my decision. Unlike you, I'm very kind. So, I took the liberty of finding a place for you that has monthly rent and no contracts needed. I had all your things shipped over to your new place. I paid the first month of your rent. After that, you can pay yourself or find your own place to stay.
I can't believe you did such a stupid thing. We've lived here for so many years. I was married to your father. I have a right to live here.
It doesn't matter how many years you lived there or who you were married to years ago. That house was left to me. I don't know how you could have forgotten that. Dad didn't mention anything about you living in the house in his will, and you never officially adopted us when he died. So what I'm saying is, when I turned 18, that house became mine. I let you continue living there out of the kindness of my heart. Or more like, you took Kyle as a hostage and took over the house. You basically took it over, didn't you?
How dare you say whatever you want to me? Who do you think has been looking after your little brother this whole time? You ungrateful little...
You think you were looking after Kyle for me? Don't you mean you were using Kyle? Kyle told me everything. He said you were using him as your own personal slave. You made him do all the laundry, the cleaning, and the cooking. He said if he ever didn't do something you told him to, you'd hit him.
You have to discipline a child if they don't listen.
And he's not my son, so if he wanted to live with us, he had to pull his own weight.
If I didn't make him do all those chores, it wouldn't be fair to Fiona.
He's still in junior high school, and you made him work day and night. And on top of that, you stole his inheritance and used it all for yourself, didn't you? You said if I paid for Fiona's private school, you wouldn't touch Kyle's money. But you used it so you could buy expensive things and have fun going out at night. And you told Kyle because there was no college fund for him, he'd have to get a job out of high school. That's the only reason you stayed with us, to take all of our dad's inheritance for yourself, wasn't it?
Shut up! Shut up! I married a divorced man who had 2 kids. You should be thankful that anyone did. So it's only natural that I'd use you both as much as I could. Kyle's not that bright. He doesn't need a college fund because he's not going to college anyway. Using any money on his education would be a total waste. Him getting a job as early as possible will be the best thing for him.
That's not your decision to make. Kyle is going to live with me now. He's going to finish high school and then he's going to college. I used the time you were on vacation and finalized everything that needed to be done. I've even put all the money back in Kyle's college fund.
You've put the money back in his savings! How? That must mean...
That's right. When I was getting all our stuff packed up to move, I sold all those designer shoes and bags you had. I couldn't believe how many you had. That's probably what you spent his college fund on, wasn't it?
How dare you! You went too far! I'll never forgive you for this. I'm gonna make you pay. I'm heading over to your place right now. Don't even think of trying to run away. I know where you live and I know where you work. You better get ready.
You better get ready, she says. You're not too smart, are you? Do you remember what happened 4 years ago?
What are you talking about?
That one time I was a day late with my payment to you and you charged me an additional $1,000. At that time, I'd already moved away and changed jobs. It was because I was busy doing all that I forgot about the transfer. I was scared you might figure out what I was up to. I thought if you came looking for me, then you might have realized I wasn't at the address you thought I was at, and that I wasn't working for the company you thought I was working at either. But I've made sure everything is hidden well now and will stay secret. You'll never find out where we are, so don't ask me for another cent ever again.
This can't be.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was tough. trying to secretly find a buyer for the house, getting Kyle's and my life all sorted out, and making sure it stays hidden from you. It took me 4 years to do it all. I feel bad that I had to leave Kyle alone with you for that long. It must have been really hard on him. But now neither of us have to worry about you ever again. Now you and Fiona don't have a house to live in, and I don't have to pay you a dime ever again. If you two live in poverty for the rest of your lives, that's fine with me.
Wait, Abby, hold on. I'm sorry. I had no idea you resented me so much. If you forgive me, I'll do anything. I was wrong. Your mother was wrong. I'm sorry, please. Think about your little sister for a moment. Please, just reconsider.
My mother? My little sister? Who are you talking about? Both of my parents are up in heaven now, and I've never had a little sister. I think it'd be strange for someone not to resent someone who used them only for money, or used them as their own personal slave. Now that you aren't holding a small boy hostage, you're just an unemployed, heartless old hag. Feel free to drop dead.
How could you?
Oh, before I go, I've got something nice to tell you. Do you know about Fiona's second SNN account? Guess what kind of picture she's posting of herself on there?
Huh?
She has lots of pictures of herself at college frat parties. She looks drunk out of her mind hanging off all those college guys. Too bad Fiona's still in high school. Oh, and I might have anonymously sent the pictures to everyone at her high school.
What?
She's at that elite private school, right? The one with a high reputation and is really strict on policies. She obviously can't be that ashamed of what she did. She posted all those pics herself. I wonder if she'll get kicked out of the school for doing this. You know, the school you had no money for, yet you were sending her to anyway? I guess we'll wait and see. She was so close to graduation, too. Even if this conduct doesn't get her kicked out, once tuition payments stop, I'm sure she won't be there much longer anyway. Oh, I feel so sorry for her.
Why would you do such a thing? Are you happy now? Taking your anger out on Fiona? You definitely went way too far. Please, I'm begging you, just stop.
I shouldn't have to say this, but I don't want anything to do with you two ever again. I'm blocking your number. This is the last time I'll ever contact you. Make sure it's the last time you ever contact me. Goodbye. Gabrielle went to the temporary place I'd set up for her. While she was staying there, I heard she started looking for a different place to move to. But since she didn't have a job, no other place would let her sign a contract with them. After the first month was up where I had placed her, Gabrielle never paid any additional rent, so she was kicked out of her temporary housing as well. She started living out of her car and selling off her personal belongings in order to pay for food and other necessities. Just before that, Fiona was kicked out of her private school. I'm not sure if it was for her actions or for not paying tuition. Either way, Fiona and Gabrielle got into a big fight about getting kicked out of school, and Fiona ended up running away from home because of it. There's a rumor going around that Fiona went to Gabrielle's friend about getting a job being an escort. As for Gabrielle, I heard from one of my old classmates that she never did end up getting a job. She eventually ran out of things to sell, and people have claimed to see her homeless, sleeping in parks. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button. See you next time!